Now, any thief worth their salt will tell you that boots are more... Dang it. Oof. Before you're ready to score the underground for Shredder. Scour. A preview version of Dungeon Row is always available right here. Well, always. Your mercenary gave you swords. Now's a good time as any. Oh my gosh. What's going on, everybody? LOL Superfast back with another new series. I know. A new series after a new series after a new series. You know, it's starting to lose all meaning, let's be honest here. But we are back with a new early access game called Clank. This game was released 7/24/2024. So it's a brand new game. It's only been out for 6 days now. But it's not a brand new game, because if you don't know, Clank is actually a physical board game that was actually developed and brought into this digital world that we live in, and is actually available on Steam. And I've never played it. I've never played the board game version. I just know bits and pieces, and I know of it from another content creator. And so I decided, sure, you know what? Let me buy this game and play it. So this series, I'm going to do, for the first episode here, I'm going to do the tutorial, just so that way I can learn, you can learn, and then after that, I believe these games are kind of like long style sessions. I'm going to do more of a longer style video for these, with minimal cuts. If it's like a super long section where I'm just deciding what I'm going to do for the turn and it's just boring content, I'll cut it for your sake. Let's just let's jump into this tutorial here and get started in this wonderful world of Clank. Alright, so we're going to do tutorial 1. This is the basics, and I will go through loud dragon. I will go through and I will read these off. Oh, well, stop thief. Just kidding. Welcome to Clank, where daring adventurers test their cunning in an attempt to, shall we say, liberate vast quantities of treasure and relics from the dungeon depths. Yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read these as they pop up. I think they really only pop up for the tutorial. A simple goal: delve deep, grab an artifact, and anything else you can get your sticky fingers on, and get out. The surviving player with the most green points wins. This is you. A bit green, perhaps, but full of potential. Here's how it works. In Clank, each player starts with an identical 10-card deck. On each of your turns, you'll draw and play 5 cards from it. You always play every card you draw. Drag Scramble into the dungeon to play it. So we're going to come down here to Scramble. We're going to drag it and we're going to drop it. And now it's going to tell us that Scramble gives you 1 skill and 1 boot. You can see those represented in your resource area here. So down here in the bottom right hand corner. Cards you've played, move to your play area just above your resources. So right over here. Now, any thief worth their salt will tell you that boots are a vital part of the trade. The boots, by the way, are movement. It didn't really specify that yet, but I think it will. The boots are actually going to be movement. You'll see how that comes into play here shortly. Oh, well, actually, maybe right here. For each boot you gain during a turn, you can move 1 step along a tunnel between rooms. There's only 1 tunnel forward from where you are. Click the space it leads to, spending 1 movement to move there. So I will click that space right there, and bloop, down I go. Good, but you can still get another boot from the card in your hand. Play it now. So that's this side step. We'll drag that, drop that, and move to the next room. So we'll go ahead and move on over here. You've got it. We'll make a proper sneak out of you yet. Cards in your hand can be played in any order. Play the rest of your cards now. Boom, boom, and boom. Before you're ready to scour the underground for treasure, you'll need to know about the dungeon row. Ooh, look at all that. The dungeon row is populated with 6 cards from the dungeon deck. From here, you'll be able to use a skill you've gained to acquire new cards. Take a look at the Elven Boots. Let's take a look at the Elven Boots. This card gives you 1 skill and 1 boot when played, just like Scramble. It also lets you draw another card from your deck, giving you more resources to work with. Plus, it's worth 2 green points at the end of the game, up here in the upper right hand corner. The Elven Boots cost 4 skill. Acquire them now by dragging them to the acquire location. A preview version of the dungeon row is always available here. When you acquire a card, you don't get the benefits right away. It's added to your discard pile. Later, if you need to draw cards but your deck is empty, your discard pile is shuffled and becomes a new deck, a stronger deck, thanks to the new cards you've acquired. You're all out of resources, so it's time to end your turn. With your turn finished, all the cards you played go into the discard pile. Then Dungeon Row is refilled with a new card replacing Elven Boots you took. You've got a new hand. Go ahead, play your rightmost card. Some cards, like Stumble, force you to make Clank. Watch your step. The more Clank you make, the more likely is that Nyctotraxian, that's what we're gonna go with, takes a bite out of you, so step lightly. Oh, did I not mention the dragon? It's her stuff you're rescuing. Dragging cards isn't the only way to play them. Rather than moving each card individually, you can press the Play All button. Use it to play your remaining cards. You have 3 skill to spend on cards. Let's see what's available in the dungeon row. Gah! A monster. I hope I sold that. Unlike other cards, you must defeat monsters using swords, not skill. But when you do, you gain their defeat rewards immediately. After all, who couldn't use a bit more gold? In addition to the dungeon row, there's another set of cards available to you. This is called the reserve row. These work just like cards in dungeon row. You can spend skill to acquire them or swords to defeat them. The only difference is that instead of getting replaced in the row at the end of the turn, these cards remain available. Since there are monsters wandering around, go ahead and acquire them a mercenary from the reserve row for protection. Now that you've played your cards and spent what resources you can, end your turn. Since you have no cards left in your deck to draw, your discard pile is shuffled to form a new deck. Play out your cards and put that new mercenary to work. You remember how, right? You see that 5-point ring? Why don't you make your way over there and grab it? Besides the way you came from, there are 2 tunnels connected to your space, but one of them has a double boot on it. That means you need to spend, you guessed it, 2 boots to cross it. Since you only have 1 boot this turn, go ahead and head the other direction instead. You just wandered into a crystal cave. Pretty shiny crystals, it's easy to get lost in there. When you enter a crystal cave, you can't use boots for the rest of the turn. Your mercenary gave you swords. Now's a good time as any to take care of that pesky orc grunt. that's it. That 3 gold you just earned is worth 3 points at the end of the game. Alright, last things last. New cards. Check out the Rebel Captain. Some companion cards have a bonus effect when you play them alongside another companion. Look at the companion tag below a card's name. This Rebel Captain has a companion thing right below their name, and their effect is if you have another companion in your play area, draw a card. Acquire the Rebel Captain. That's it, end your turn. When the dungeon row is refilled at the end of each turn, if any of the new cards have a dragon, the dragon attacks. All of the Clank in the Clank area will be added to the dragon bag. Then random cubes are pulled from the bag. The number pulled is determined by the rage track. That was a black dragon cube. 24 of them start out in the bag each game. Those are misses. But for each cube of yours pulled, you take a damage. Take 10 damage to your heart and you're knocked out. Game over. Looks like another double movement tunnel in front of you. Fortunately, this time you have 2 boots to spend. You've discovered a minor secret. These give you a random beneficial effect. Ooh, a magic potion. This one makes 2 swords when you drink it. Potions can be saved for later use. For now, spend your skill at the end of your turn. Alright, so let's come over here to the dungeon row and let's take a look and see what we have in the shop. We can barely see these right here. The lucky coin. It's 1 Clank, but you draw 1 card, so that's beneficial. This is a treasure map with 5 gold, which we're only playing against ourselves, so it's not going to be really beneficial for us to have a ton of gold. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can get something that's going to be beneficial for us, at least what we can get out of this tutorial. Either the monkey bot, which is a +3 Clank, but you draw 3 cards, which will probably get us more movement and more swords. Or we can get some explorer. I don't think we need another mercenary, so I'm thinking of going with either monkey bot or explore. Let's go, you know what, let's just spend all of it so we don't waste any. We'll go right here, grab ourselves a monkey bot, and we will end our turn. This icon in the tunnel in front of you is a tunnel monster. Whenever you cross one of these, you have a choice. Either pay 1 sword to defeat it, or take 1 damage. Your cards this turn don't give you any swords, but you did just pick up a potion that does. Use it now. Move into the room with the artifact. Love how it tells me to move into the room with the artifact, but it doesn't let me move into the room with the artifact. Gotta remember that you have to play your cards to be able to move before you can actually do it. Select the tunnel monster icon to spend 1 sword defeating it, then select the room you're moving to again. So boom and boom. Alright, your moment has come. Steal that artifact. That dragon sounds mad. Whenever a player steals an artifact, the dragon's rage increases. More rage means more cubes get pulled in each attack. Make your way out of the dungeon with the artifact to finish the lesson. You're free to move and act as you like, but make sure you escape. Alright, so this is our first chance to get to do this kind of on our own with no lessons here. We have the opportunity to make our way out. So there is a major secret over here. And see, if we move up this way, we do have to fight 1 monster, use 2 movement. See, this way is technically the cheapest, so we should probably do that. We won't be able to do any movement this round because we just moved into this crystal cavern. Even though we have one movement, you can look down here. It says current boots. I have one, but you're exhausted and you can't move. So even though we've got a boot, we can't move. So only thing we can do this round is actually go into the dungeon row and spend the last 3 skill that we have. Let's take a look here and let's see what do we want to get. See, I have 3. I think I'm gonna go with another explore because I would like to, or I could do a swagger. For each clank you make this turn, 1 skill. It gives me a movement, but it also gives me some skill for the next one, as opposed to this one where, alright, this gives me skill if I make Clank, so it kind of incentivizes Clank. Let's not, because I don't, plan to stick around and make a bunch of Clank. There's nobody else in this dungeon, so yeah, let's just go with this explore, and let's end the turn. Alright, so now we've got 0 movement. We got 0 movement. Cool. That's fun. We got some more skills. So let's take a look what we have for skill. Can't do anything without movement. So I guess let's take a look at search here. For each time you gain gold this turn, increase the amount you gain by 1. Yeah, I mean that's cool, but it's not really, beneficial. What about if you have another companion in your play area, draw a card. That's kind of useful. We could probably do that. Yeah, I think let's do that. Let's do this rebel miner. And then we have 2 left. We don't really need another mercenary. You know what? Let's just grab a swagger too. Sure. Ooh, dragon sounds mad. And looks like we're taking 1 hit from that dragon attack. Oh, snap. We're down to 7 health. Alright, so it looks like we do have movement this turn. We are getting 2 movement this turn. So we have 2 movement. Oh, hey, look, we got another tooltip here. That's a lot of skill. There's a card in the reserve you should consider. Secret Tome. Take a look. It's expensive and it doesn't do anything when you play it, but it's worth a whopping 7 points. Yeah, so if we were playing against, other players, obviously we want the most amount of these, like, green points. Down here in the bottom left, you see, let's click on, let's get out of this menu real quick. Let's see if it'll let me see myself. No, it doesn't. Okay, so these green points, and you can actually see it on, there you go, on these cards. You can kind of see them in the upper right hand corner of the cards. So a lot of things are worth these green points. These green points are what determines the game at the end, who wins. So the person that has the most of them is going to be the winner. So this is beneficial if you're going for some kind of record of most points per game, or you're playing against other people. We're not playing against other people, so let's just take a look at other stuff we can get. We have the option. We don't have any swords, but there is an animated door monster to defeat, and it gives us a movement, which is pretty cool. Let's see. A pickaxe gives us 2 gold and 2 swords. We don't really need the swords. We definitely need to spend this 10 skill that we have. If you have an artifact plus 2 skill, that's pretty cool. We have 3 movement as well. I mean, that's pretty good. We don't have many mercenaries, so let's grab a mercenary. We still have 8 more. Let's grab, let's grab ourselves a kobold. Let's grab ourselves, we have 5 more. Let's grab ourselves a pickaxe and a lucky coin. Let's just clean the shop out. I was kind of just grasping at straws there, just spinning it all. Alright, let's go. I guess let's just move up we have 3 movement, so we don't have any swords. So I guess we're just gonna take that hit because we could have moved into here, but then we would have been wasting 1 movement. At least by moving into here, we're using the 1 movement, and then we'll use the 2 movement to get back up here into this crystal cave, and then we're stuck there anyway. So I think that's gonna be our best option. So let's go ahead and move and take that hit. We are down to oh, well, I picked up another swords minor strength potion, but now I'm down to 6 health. We still have 2 movement, so let's go ahead and move up here to the crystal cave. And we are stuck here anyway, so we will go ahead and guess we'll just end our turn. Oh, I didn't realize that whenever you have the a little icon right here, it's basically saying, hey, you got to play this. Our Rebel Miner came up, so that was our let's see if we can find, here we go, our Rebel Captain. So if you have another companion in your play area, draw a card. And so it drew us our Rebel Miner. And if you have another if you have another companion in your play area, draw a card. So we put our Rebel Miner over there, and our Rebel Captain are kind of like synergizing with each other here, and we're just going to continue to draw cards. Oh, and we got one more skill before we end our turn, but we don't have anything to spend that skill on, so we'll just go ahead and end the turn. Oh no, we got ourselves a dragon attack. Oh no, 2 hits. Oh, we're gonna be hurting. But we're right next to the exit. I think we can get out of here. Come on, guys. We got this. Alright, let's go ahead and I don't think it matters which order we play. We're basically out of here already. We have 1 movement. Let's go ahead and move it on up. We are you're almost there. Let's go ahead back into the dungeon row. Let's get used to the process of doing your turn, going in, buying what we need to. Dead run to Clank. You don't have to stop in the crystal caves this turn. Wow, that would have been very useful last turn. And then there's a Belcher here. We could defeat a Belcher. A Belcher generates 2 Clank and a dragon attack, apparently. But it gives us 4 gold. Let's take a look real quick. Where are we? We're here. We've already used our 1 movement. I could technically fight this animated door, and it'll give me another movement, so I could move 1 further. I have 4 skill, so let's grab, you know what, let's go ahead and defeat this animated door. So it gives us 1 movement. Yeah, I know we just kind of initiated a dragon attack, but that's okay. We're going to grab, you know, we're gonna grab a dead run just for the movement. I don't know why. It's the end of the whole game at this point. I should probably be more focused on like getting some gold and whatnot, but we'll save that for the actual game that's gonna be had after this. And we got ourselves a dragon attack. How bad did we do? 1 damage. We're down to 3 health. Not terrible, not the best. This is a real game. We'd be in some serious danger. Alright, so it looks like we got our Elven Boots and our Explorer. Gave us the 2 movement we're going to need to get out of here. Let's go ahead and move into this area. And we have 5. So technically speaking, oh, and we have 2. Ooh, this is a risky move, but we're going to do it. So we have 2 swords. So we're going to go ahead and defeat this Belcher. And by defeating the Belcher, it'll give us some 4 gold. It will generate 2 Clank, but whatever. And then now we still have our 5 skill. Let's see. This is worth 2 gold and it's worth 2 points. So this will give us the 2 gold and it'll give us 2 points for the card's worth. So that's beneficial. So really that's the best option, is this pickaxe right here. because that's the only one that's actually worth anything, and it gives me gold, which is worth something at the end of the game. So, sorry, that's, woof. It's one of those moments where you kind of just black out and start talking. We'll go ahead and end. Oh no, I ended my turn. I didn't mean to end my turn. Oh well. The game is pretty much over. Go ahead and, do we have, we sure do. Let's buy a secret tome. And let's fight a goblin. Cool. Now we've got 3 movement. I just... Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. No, do not end that turn again. Oh, let's defeat another goblin. Discard a card and discard a card to choose one of the following: 3 swords, or 2 gold, or 1 heart. Ooh, the apothecary is pretty good. You know, I keep accidentally pressing this end turn button, but it's actually pretty beneficial because I am getting quite a bit of skill, and I'm just kind of burning through some of these cards up here. So it's actually helping me learn the cards pretty well. So I'm not mad about it. Let's just go ahead and grab some stuff that's going to be worth some points. I almost just spent it on something that wasn't going to be worth anything, but that's okay. Let's grab the apothecary. Sure. We're not going to end our turn this time. Oh, hey, let's grab a mercenary as well. Why not? We're going to go ahead, come back out here, and then boom. We have escaped. You did it. Congratulations. I guess I end my turn. Yep. Alright, end my turn. And we have a whopping total of 62 points. And it says Tutorial 1 complete. Congratulations on completing the first tutorial. Press continue to begin the final tutorial and learn more about advanced techniques in Thievery. We're not going to do that. We're going to go back to main menu. This is the basics, and this is a full heist. I don't know what that means. Should we do a full heist? That'll probably be like us playing against other people, which are probably just AIs. Sure, let's do it. Let's go ahead and do tutorial 2. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video here, and I'll upload a second one of the tutorial 2. So this will be, the tutorial 2 will be in the second video. So if you want to continue watching me play the tutorial, please feel free to jump over to that video. If not, then tell me down below that you hated this so much and you never want to see me play this again. Hopefully it'll get more entertaining with more people playing, which are going to be AI. This seems like it's going to be a fun adventure to play, and I am pretty excited. So I'm going to jump into tutorial 2 in the second video, and if you don't want to watch tutorial 2, you can watch the third video, because I'll probably be releasing 1, 2, and then the first actual game pretty soon after each other. So you can jump over to the first actual game, and hopefully it will be a lot more entertaining than the tutorial. Till next time, I will see you guys very, very shortly.